Oh, I haven't done the light. I haven't done the light. That's why it's oh, I'm live. I need. Whoops. I need a better light. I need to get one of those ones that doesn't shine on my face. My pretty face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that shines. Oh, hello. Can you see and hear me? Done.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I know you can. You're sat next to me.
I can see and hear you.
You are sat next to me.
Well, you didn't. You wasn't specific. You said, "Can anyone see or hear me?" I am just pointing out. Yes, I can.
Okay, you don't get to talk anymore.
Rude. Moog, help! I'm being abused.
Well, yeah, anyway. Okay, so live stream. Didn't have the thing up in advance because didn't know what I was going to talk about. Probably still don't. We'll find out together.
Nothing new there, then.
My friend, thank you. That happened once.
Oh, yes.
My face is shiny with the light.
It's that moisturiser you've just put on.
Moisturiser? What, water? That was like at 8 o'clock this morning when I had a shower. It's probably kebab leaking out of my face. Oh, you're still there. You are still there. Good. So,
you need some foundation, according to Moog.
I haven't worn foundation since
last week.
About 20 years, probably. Used to be a goth back in the day. It was pre-beard. I wore because I got fed up with having to take my nail varnish off on Sunday and then putting it on every Friday night because I had to work in an office. And so I grew the beard as sort of permanent, not quite goth, but rock. That was my thing. And the black lipstick with the beard just does not work. And doesn't work. So yes, the goth gradually disappeared. The silver rings disappeared. The bracelets disappeared. I should probably stop talking now. Oh no, I'm here to talk. Right? Yes, that's a good point.
I could always do it. I could take over.
What is your? I don't think so. What?
No, come on.
Thank you, Lexicus. What is your name? What is your quest? What is the airspeed and velocity of an unladen swallow? Well, is that an African or a European swallow? You don't know? Some people will be laughing. Some people will be staring at me with a real expression on their faces. But I don't get to see you, so I don't get to tell.
We've seen Make.
Well, quite no. That was in the moderator chat window. There was only like 5 people saw that.
I still saw him.
All right, okay. It appears that Mick has bought a Say Hi Paul t-shirt, and yeah,
and he's very nicely sporting it.
Although I do know how difficult it is, not quite to get lipstick out of the beard, but a lot of the live role-playing makeup and face painting I used to use would have to blend it into the beard, so I know exactly how difficult that is to wash out. Especially when, because if you like, I'm sure the very few of you will know this, but with the live role-playing, you can't just do your face because then when you're walking around, the backs of your ears and your neck, they just look stupid. You've got to make sure you get all your neck and your collar line and your ears. Getting like red paint or blue paint or brown paint out of the inside of your ear is a pain in the backside. It's just. So, we're only 5 minutes in, and I haven't.
I'm liking that, Scott. I'm liking that.
What's he saying? Evening Crimson and Paul.
I love it. Love it.
Watching you. Come on, reboot brain.
Do you want a slap round the head?
Oh, how much?
I mean to reboot your brain.
No, I just need more, not Coke. No, I don't. It's got no caffeine in it. I mean, there's just no point.
Why?
Feels empty. Yes. Anyway, so format this evening, usual format. I'll ramble a bit about this last week. Then I'll ramble a bit. Hang on. Let me. The heck, because because Molly the dog isn't here, Lemmy's around, which means there's a cloud of fur that just follows her. You know how some people measure humidity in the air? Yeah, well, this is fur density. So this last week, I've actually been considering going back to LARP again. I had been thinking of going this weekend, and I still haven't 100% decided. I don't think I will, though, because my mental health hasn't been great this last week. I'm really anxious at the minute, which, as regular viewers will know, I have no problem talking about openly, because if we all do that, then it normalizes it, and it should be normal. So, yeah, fight the power. I've been kind of rocky. Oh, no, I don't do the gathering. No. I go to one live roleplay club that I've been going to since I was 17. I go there. Well, I say since I was 17. I haven't been in the last 10 years. Nah. Anyway, gatherings too many people. I need smaller groups. That's why this works, because it doesn't look like I'm talking to like 800 people. And I know there's only 35 of you in the stream at the minute, but it will get watched. So, how easy is it to get involved in LARP? It depends. Oh, hang on. Sorry, no, I didn't say that. I'm getting the evil eye from the person who's not just admin. She's now going to draw on my arm. Just watch. Yeah, there you go. So, yes, then. So do write that one down. I didn't answer it. Write it down. You can write it down. Write it down. I can't see the pen.
No.
Right, fine.
I'm not now.
Fine. You won't get paid.
Don't do that.
She doesn't get paid.
No, I don't.
Immortan Joe, depends very much on the club, I imagine. I imagine some are inaccessible and some are quite accessible. The one I have always been to is called Forever's Destiny. Is based around Manchester. It's www.destiny.org.uk. There's actually a picture of me, age 17, on the front of that website. See if you can spot it. That particular club is incredibly accessible. You turn up, they lend you costume, they lend you weapons, they tell you everything you need to know. Anyway, there you go. Another random plug. I was going to say, did you get paid? No, she doesn't get paid.
No, I don't get paid.
Gets paid with my gratitude.
Great.
Gratitude.
That'll buy me a pair of shoes.
I bought you a pair of shoes for Christmas.
You can never have too many shoes.
Never had to miss. No comment. Anyway, yeah, she gets fed. What did you have for your dinner tonight? What did you have? Go on.
Chinese.
Go on. Yeah. Was it aromatic? Did it quack?
Was it aromatic? It was wonderful.
Jolly good. Right. It's going to be one of those evenings, I think. Staying on topic is going to be a bit tricky because my brain is all over the place at the moment. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. Part of me really wants to, but I haven't been for so long. It's the nerves and, it'll all be different. And anyway, that's, whilst it is hobby related, it's only tangentially hobby related because, wargaming, roleplay, live roleplay. So what else have I been doing hobby-wise? I did Oh, I had a fantastic game of Aeronautica Imperialis with the Claw on Friday. The closest game of anything I have ever had that wasn't a draw. It was right down to the wire. We had to get pens and paper and add it up. Then we had to check it on a calculator. It was great. And we thought, oh, yeah, we'll get a couple of games in. No problem. The last games we did were really quick. It took us like 4 hours to play one. So we got one game in. But that is going up. I don't know whether that's going up on public YouTube or going up for members. I'm not sure which one that was doing. But it's going up at some point quite soon. And what else? I did an unboxing video on Sunday. Did I do it on Sunday? I don't know when I released it. I think I did it on Sunday. Did I do it on Saturday? I filmed it on Saturday. Released it on Sunday. Because GW sent me, very, very kindly sent me the Extremis Age of Sigmar box for free to do reviews and content with. So I unboxed it. Really quite impressed with that box. Really quite impressed with it. The books were good. Oh, Eldar Blog, thank you, man. I'm still on the Pepsi. There's not enough Coca-Cola in the area. By area, I mean country, I don't think. Yeah, the content of the box was good. I liked the rule book, and it was a good it's a good 40 or 50 pages of rules as well. And I can't quite tell because I haven't read them in detail yet, but I don't think they are as wordy as 9th Ed 40k is, which is word-tastic. Yeah, it's actually got me a little bit. It's whet my appetite for something a little bit different, because I had recently popped on YouTube a bit of if I were to do something that wasn't 40k, what would you guys want to see type questions, and do you like battle reports or this or that or the other? And a lot of people have come back and said, we don't care what system you do, because we like your enthusiasm, and that's what is, that's what we come for. So just do what you want, man. I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's not necessarily anything I expected to hear, but that's cool. That's cool. So the unboxing of the Age of Sigmar box set has whet my appetite for a bit of fantasy. And it's interesting because I think now that Fantasy Battle is coming back, it actually makes me feel more well disposed towards Age of Sigmar, because it's now, whilst it isn't Age of Sigmar's fault that GW killed Fantasy Battle. It isn't its fault. And now that Fantasy Battle's coming back, I've stepped back a little bit. Do you know what? This could be a thing. I thought, well, I can do this is more of a sort of small skirmishy fantasy game. So let's do let's see what I can do. And I thought, all right, what do I do with scenery? I've got loads of 40k scenery, most of which I've not painted. I have actually got some Age of Sigmar scenery that I haven't painted, because, and this is me moving into the Age of Sigmar part of the ramble now. We're officially on topic now. Second topic, but still on topic. Because what happened was, near the start of lockdown 1, in fact, it was just before lockdown 1, Crimson's niece was quite interested in painting some models and got some Age of Sigmar stuff to paint. And so I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll do myself a little Age of Sigmar force and get some scenery and get a board, and then if she's interested, if she stays interested in it, then we can play some games. We can learn how to play. I don't think the interest survived lockdown. So I've had
found boys.
Yes, they were behind the fridge. It's a Red Dwarf reference.
Oh, is it?
It is, yeah. The cat says, "Did you look behind the fridge? If you lose something, it's nearly always there." Yeah, so she lost interest in that. So I've ended up with this Night Goblin army and a bit of terrain, some of which is painted, some of which isn't. I thought, right, okay, what can I do with the Night Goblins? Because I do really like the aesthetic. And I remember at the time thinking, oh, yeah, I could go for some river trolls, and I could go for some spider riders and an Arachnarok spider as well. And I thought, oh, yeah, this is... Let's do this. And then, of course, nothing came with it. But since that time, Solo Hammer has become a thing. So I thought, oh, what could I do? And I ended up with a whole load of bits from various parts of the Mortal Realms magazine subscription that I acquired. So I was rummaging through those going, well, what I could do, I've got, because I had way back from my Fantasy Battle days, I've got like a graveyard type scenery type thing. And I thought, well, I've got a few tree men, and I know I've got some night haunty ghosty things and a few of the Stormcast. So I thought, what I could do like a little thing with night goblins disrupting this graveyard and waking the dead, and then the tree folk coming out. And I thought, oh, I could end up doing a few little games with that. So that's kind of got me enthusiastic at the minute. I'm trying to. The difficult thing with Age of Sigmar is when I already I do you ever totally forget what you were talking about in the middle of a conversation? I do also have demon armies. This is very true. Oh, Lemmy, what are you doing? Oh, I better move the keyboard. Yes, Age of Solomar. So when I got those bits and bobs, I also got the main rulebook and a couple of the battle tomes, and had a bit of a read to try and get into it. Obviously, being a narrative fellow, I was like, right, okay, I have to understand all this Mortal Realms stuff and how all the realms are different and who is where and what their agendas are and so on. Because the other thing that helped was starting to do a bit of reading and go, actually, this is now significantly further on from the end of the old world. These aren't high elves that have just acquired cow horns. These are, tens of thousands of years later, and are significantly different for that reason. So I'm like, oh, okay. Not that I'm attracted to elves with cow horns, but to be honest, they're better than the flying fish elves. I can't reconcile that in my mind. Flying fish elves are just a no for me. I'll tell you what they are. They're silly, in my humble opinion. They're silly. I can't do silly. I can be silly, but I can't do silly. So I thought, well, still understanding all of that is a bit of a barrier to me, because I have to try and dig out all the information because it's not readily available in the places that I've looked. And it occurred to me that a lot of the information I have about 40k comes from earlier edition books and earlier codices when they used to explain all that kind of stuff, like explaining what particular units were and why they are included and what their motivations are and all those sorts of things. And I thought, I'm just not going to find that in I'm just not going to find that in Age of Sigmar. So I thought, right, well, what could I do? Do I need to know all of that? Or could I actually set something in Microcosm Does it actually matter which particular mortal realm I'm in if what I'm just doing is something with a band of goblins that happen to disturb a graveyard, that happen to be near a human settlement, that might mean some human troops are sent there to protect it, that's on the edge of a woodland, which might mean tree folk get upset. So I thought, well, actually, I don't need to do big game. I don't need to do sort of big game, big picture, like in 40k, where I'm sort of like, I'm the invasion of this planet in this system that is controlled by this thing. I can see what's happening, you know. Crimson, someone's feeling Slaneshi.
Yeah.
Because in 40k, you do kind of need the big picture stuff, and you have to have a reason why a particular army hasn't just been decimated from orbit, or you know the aircraft haven't stopped, or things haven't teleported in, or you know this, that, and the other. Actually, in fantasy battles, some of those in Age of Sigmar, in fantasy games, well, that's better. In fantasy games, that's less of a massive big issue. You can just say, actually, we are in one small part of the world here, and the big picture doesn't matter. And what I'm telling here is the story of this small part of the world. So that's what I am planning on doing, I think. I've looked up some. I have looked up some painting guides on Warhammer TV, and I did a bit of the catalogue of all the bits and bobs that I've ended up with. Most of the things I'm lacking are actually the troops, and as I'm sure you guys know from a lot of my 40k stuff, I like troop-heavy armies. I don't like just sort of minimum troops and then mashed out with elites and characters and stuff. So I will need more troops from somewhere, but things like the chain rasps, they look quite cool. And there's a nice painting guide for those. Oh, these look quite quick to do. So I thought, And then there's the glaive razor horse head stab people. Got 4 of those. I thought, these are going to come in units of 10, aren't they? I'm going to need to find 6 from somewhere. That's not going to work. Quick look in the app. Unit 4. Okay. That's all right. That's all right. So I've actually got a few bits to cobble together, and I've actually ended up with a few bits of a few Uruks and a few corn blood people, which, as someone rightly said, I can mix in with demons. So I'm kind of thinking of doing a little run of Age of Sigmar stuff and see how that grabs me. Painting is going to be very different, which I'm quite looking forward to. Obviously, I have to mix it in with other things. I'm still very much running the Necron train. What did I paint over the weekend? I painted my Wraiths over the weekend. 6 of those. They were lots of fun. I'm going to be doing a few different things. I'm going to be doing more of what takes my fancy at a given time, I think, and then just putting that content out. Because I've reached a bit, I say a conclusion, but the way the wind's blowing at the moment is the channel growth has slowed down. It's slowed down quite a lot, and to the extent where I think, well, if I keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, I might not. I might burn out a little bit with it, and especially if I've sort of peaked. And peaking's fine. I've always known there's going to be a peak point because I am quite a niche. I'm quite a niche, so I'm cool with that. But I'm now thinking, okay, if this is me peaking, then what I should probably do. She's smirking. I don't know why. If this is me peaking, then what I should probably do is, as people have suggested, that it appears what you guys like is my energy. So, okay, so follow my muse a bit more rather than just following other stuff. So I think what I'm going to do is just that. Now, the question there is whether I follow my muse for long enough to actually get some Age of Sigmar done, or whether I see random butterflies and go off onto other things instead, which is eminently conceivable, as I'm sure you have been able to. Hello. There is a cat here. It's not just me saying hello. You can see the tail. Do you know, I could replace you with a tail on a stick. They wouldn't know any difference. It's just here. Just here. So I'm looking at some Age of Sigmar stuff, which is also ironic because I've got my Star Wars Legion stuff up here, which I really want to do as well, and my Necromunda stuff, which I really want to. Get your hand off the sofa. My Necromunda stuff, all of which require me to do quite a big bit to get going. Whereas in theory, to get going with Age of Sigmar, all I need to do, because I've got trees, I've got ruins, I've got greenish mats. So all I really need is an army to play against the Night Goblins and to learn the rules. That bit is the tricky bit. Haven't quite decided whether I want to learn how to play it and then film a battle report of me playing it, or whether to completely just do the how do I play this on camera, or warts and all. Don't know. Haven't decided. I guess we'll see what happens. Yeah. Now, one of the other things I have been doing is, and this will enrage Moog. That Moog, be ready to be enraged. So one of the other things I've been doing is getting ready to cook a lot of curry. One of the things that way back in the deployment zone days, sorry, not the deployment zone days, I'm still involved in deployment zone, but say Hi Paul YouTube days, was for deployment zone, I did a thing called Weekend at Paul's, which was the first time that all of the regulars on deployment zone, we got together in one place and they all came up here for the weekend. This was pre-COVID. And we chilled out. We played lots of games. We had a lot of laughs. Something like Silver Black, a lot of laughs. And I cater for everyone, which is something I enjoy doing. I enjoy cooking in my own kitchen, not in wherever Moog randomly tells me I need to cook for him. So we said we planned another one, and then it got COVIDed, and then so we planned one in for post-COVID, which is actually in a couple of weeks, but the deployment zone regulars have grown a lot, and I don't mean they've got fatter. I mean there are many more of them now than there were before. I think there were 9 people first time round. It might have been 10. This time there's 18. So I've got to work out the logistics of. Well, you might not have started the curry thing, Moog, but you certainly pushed it. So now it is you, whether that's what you intended or not. So yeah. Now I've started looking at the logistics of feeding pretty much 20 people and cooking for them, and so I'm working out how I can do 5 curries at once and all that stuff. I did an inventory of the kitchen today. Not enough plates, not enough forks, not enough cups. So acquiring more of those is going to be a thing. But that's going to be good. And one of the reasons I'm mentioning it here is I am totally going to vlog about it. And it's a 4-day event. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And not everyone's coming for the whole time. And one poor unfortunate is being forced to work, so has had to pull out, which I am gutted for him. And some people are only coming up for one day. But yeah, at peak, there's going to be 17 of us. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that a great deal. But I'm going to vlog about it. So there'll be lots of preparation vlogs, possibly not any aftermath vlogs, because some of those guys are animals. And you agree with Chapter Master? What did he say?
That you should be wearing your merch.
They don't do it in my size.
Oh no! We need to sort that out. I can sort that out.
You'll tell them.
I'll sort it out.
Get them told.
I will.
Speaking of merch, I've put a new thing in the merch store, which should end up. It takes about 3 days to filter through from spring to. Well, Moog, if you can get yourself put on, it's a deployment zone thing. If you can become a deployment zone regular, sort of signed up by Winters and or Liam between now and then, yeah, that's the nature of the event. Which I'm not saying is impossible by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, I managed to worm my way in, wormy. But that's the challenge accepted. All right, you got 2 weeks. I don't think he's in the country. I'm not sure. And by the space, I think that I actually mean that someone has cancelled their hotel because not everyone is actually staying here. But yeah, so I'm going to do a lot of vlogging, and I don't know, so I'm not going to promise, but what I might do is a bit of a live stream during the day, not sort of a talking head live stream, more of a sort of phone on the thing and walking around and going, what are you guys doing? What's going on? Live stream, just a relatively short one, but I wouldn't be able to do anything with the comments, you see, and they'll probably all be half cut by lunchtime. So yeah, I'm going to play that one very much by ear. But yeah, I'm going to do a whole bunch of vlogging for that. So there'll be a vlog series of what happened at Weekend at Paul's. And if there isn't, it's because I was too busy cooking. I thought of a way around some of the cooking though. My local Morrison's, you can order sandwiches. The thing that got me last time wasn't the evening cooking. It wasn't the breakfast cooking. Breakfast cooking was easy. You just put 80 sausages in the oven and then, they sort themselves out. The tricky bit was lunch. It was making sandwiches for everyone. So I'm working my way around that by getting Morrison's to do it for me. Or possibly Subway. I got it booked on one day. I need to book it on the other. I'm logistics crazy at the moment, which I admit probably isn't going to interest any of you guys because you're not actually going to be there. So I should probably start talking about something else. So moving on to something else just after I've had a quick drink. Breathe. You say something. Thanks.
It's all right.
You should invite the admin. Is invited. You know perfectly well the admin's invited. Oh, am I doing questions? Are these relevant to this bit? Okay. I'm just checking. Okay. Joe. The learning as you play worked well with the Claw and Aeronautica. Could you do something like that for AOS? Could maybe do something like that for AOS, but I'd need an opponent. And it'll probably all be filmed just when I can scrape my brain into a bucket and get it done. So I don't know how practical that would be because I'd need to do like a series. So it's definitely something to think about. Definitely something to think about. Paul, you mentioned the Second War of Armageddon campaign, which my Steel Legion are more than happy to help with. Second War of Armageddon campaign, it is still on the list, but I've got a lot of orcs to paint before I can do that, and a lot of orc scenery. So it's a way down, especially if I'm mixing it up a little bit to follow my muse. I don't want to get burnt out on 40k, and I'm not saying it's likely because it's 40k, but I want to mix it up enough so that my enthusiasm still goes. Rah. Do my Discord mods get an invite to weekends at Say Hi Paul's? Lol. Well, it's a deployment zone thing, but maybe in future there will be a Say Hi Paul thing. I don't know. I'll have to think. I will give that some thought. I will give it some thought. Lol. Paul Gray. How far down the list will the Age of Sigmar be? Well, in theory, I'm picking up the brush tomorrow night. It just depends how far I go on with it as to whether. No, I won't be picking up the brush. I'll be picking up the file and the clippers tomorrow night. Depends how far I get on with it. And whether I. Because you see, the thing is, I'm painting the Necrons at the moment. And the Necrons are great art therapy. Because it's weird. One of the few things that brings my anxiety levels down is painting. But it has to be painting where I'm not thinking about it. It has to be painting where I know everything I've got to do and I've just lined it up and I'm just going through the motions. It allows me to just totally disconnect part of my brain. I don't know how that works or why that works, but it really grounds me. And if I do that for a few days, my mental health improves dramatically. Now the AOS, I'm going to be thinking about a lot. And so it all depends on how much of which I do and how I'm feeling. Because some days I don't hobby because I want to hobby. I hobby because I know I have to do some art therapy. It's like, okay, I need to sort my brain out. What can I do? Right, I'm going to have to paint something easy. That's why my fulminators grew so much when they did years ago, because they are a piece of cake to paint. No thought required. How far down the list? Yeah. Difficult question. Commander Autism. I ended up getting AOS models to make an old-style Vampire Counts army. Nice. I have an old Vampire Counts army. They are super cool. Super cool. Paul has a latex hammer.
Just thought I'd tell you.
This Paul has a latex hammer.
Yeah.
All right. I don't have a latex hammer.
Not you.
No. I know you. I know. I don't have a latex hammer.
I'm quite impressed with his hammer.
I've got 3 latex axes, a latex staff, a latex spear, 5 latex daggers, and 11 latex swords, a latex katana, a latex mace, and a latex plank, and a crossbow with latex bolts, but no hammer. I think I'm missing something. Got to catch them all. Maybe that could be my thing. If I go back live role playing, I need to buy a new weapon, because probably most of those swords, the latex is probably all gone. I bought one of them when I was 17. One batch of them. Was that it for the relevant ones?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So let's segue on to topic number 2. Who would ramble about a topic like this?
Don't do that.
Again, I've split the audience there. Some people get that reference, some people won't. Please don't bring weapons to Paul Fest, Paul. No. It won't end well.
Yeah. Yes, do. Yes.
All right. You're responsible for people who are armed if people bring weapons.
All right. Fabulous.
I will reiterate, I am not organising Paul Fest. Right now, Chapter Master Lexicus is probably hitting himself at this conversation because he is organising it and he is responsible. Aren't you, Chapter Master?
I have a stick. Moog's got a stick.
Yeah. So, topic number 2 is Warhammer Plus. You're going to have to excuse me for a minute. I'm going to have to disappear for a minute.
Oh, what? Go on then. Yeah, we'll be fine.
It's not optional at this point.
We'll be fine. Well, go on then.
I'll move the mic nearer.
Oh, No one wants to see that on camera. Axe.
Well, no, that
Scott.
happened in a different room.
Go on then. Scott, bring your axe. Is it a real one? Oh, it's a real one. It's a real one, Paul. I don't think we should bring a real one. No, don't bring a real one. No. We could just talk amongst ourselves. Yeah. I'm all for a stick. On all sticks two-handed, though? Lemmy's on the chair. Turn the chair. Oh, you can't see her. Lemmy's on the chair. Ask her anything. Ask her anything, Wiggles. She knows a lot about food. She's very good with food. Chicken, ham. She knows all about food.
She's moved. Oh, thank you, Crimson. Apologies, folks. Apologies. What did I miss?
Lemmy was answering questions. It's fine on your behalf. She was answering lots of questions. It was a bit like Mastermind. Ow!
What's the Lemmy Paul split of the income? Okay. I feel like I should, but maybe not. It's probably best not to know. Is she going to knock your drink off?
Yeah. Hello.
Right, so top.
Lemmy. Whoa!
Sorry, random cat crazy. Warhammer Plus. That is the second subject. Warhammer Plus. So, Warhammer Plus is launched tomorrow. So I thought it would be worth touching on it in tonight's ramble. So there was a. So what's in it? I have tiny soupçon of knowledge because there was an advanced screening for content reviewers, and being part of the GW content reviewer crew, gang, collective. That's a decent word. I was
Cult.
GW very kindly invited me to an advanced screening of the first episode of Hammer and Bolter on Thursday last week, which I attended, and there was a bit of a Q&A and so on. So it's going to have content review samplers. Yes, I did have some sample content, but it wasn't anything that I had a particularly good method for sharing. So there's a couple of sound clips, there's a couple of video clips, and they're a few seconds long. And I thought, I'm not quite sure how I can get these out. And I didn't think they would add particularly very much. So I didn't, but I thought I would ramble about it today. So the episode that I saw was called Old Bale Eye. And it was, the premise was an orc runt herd talking to some young orcs about the concept of having an enemy, and that the enemy of Gazgul was Old Bale Eye, Commissar Yarrick. There wasn't much in the way of an actual story. It didn't sort of go from A to B. It was a number of little vignettes about, and then they fought here, and then they fought over there, and then they fought over here, and then they fought over there. Soundtrack was pretty good. The animation style would not have been out of place in the early 80s. It was vintage. It was a vintage animation style. Nothing wrong with that style. The thing that my overall view was, I was a little disappointed that there wasn't much story being told. It was all sort of pictures and bangs and things. It wasn't sort of, I think I would have preferred, rather than what basically amounted to a montage of battles between Yarrick and Gazgul, I think I would have preferred a sort of story with characters. It was all being narrated by this runt herd and not being and not being sort of explained through the characters themselves. They didn't really speak. They had a couple of lines It was more of a sort of montage to narration, which I wasn't overly keen on. That said, I am interested to see what they do with the next episode, whether it's in a similar style. If it is, it's probably not a series that's for me. But they're all meant to be individual things, and I don't know if they're all going to be totally different or if they're all going to be in that sort of style. So yes, there's that, and that is live on. It was live tomorrow. There's also going to be the sort of more high-tech animations series between Blood Angels and Gene Stealers. I'm looking forward to watching an episode of that to see if that's all sort of action shots or whether there's actually a story that's going to build there. Because if they haven't used the Black Library writers to make the plot for some of these series that they're working on, they won't lock it up. They won't absolutely lock it up because they have got some amazing story people. So we shall see. They also give us a talk through on other things that they're doing. They did things like, how much does it cost and what languages is it available in and what territories in various countries. And they went through some of the other things. There's going to be a video. There's going to be content every Wednesday. And they're going to have a painting masterclass type thing. Now, this is apparently the one step up from Moog, are you implying that the Ultramarines movie wasn't awesome? I have that on DVD. It was effing great. Period. Head wound. Yeah, he's got no head. Head wound. Awesome. And that was the apothecary. That was the diagnosis. Head wound. I enjoyed the Ultramarines movie. I liked it for what it was. I didn't have very high expectations, and it didn't all align to there's some of the narrative elements, but there were lots of little bits in it that I thought were very good, and the story was okay. I would take the Ultramarines movie hands down over the episode of Hammer and Bolter I saw. But it's all personal preference, isn't it? It's all personal preference. So yes, apparently these painting masterclasses are sort of one step up from the stuff they put out on Warhammer TV. So I think on Warhammer TV they do battle ready, then parade ready, and I think these masterclass videos are about going up a notch from that, which could be interesting. Could be interesting to watch. Some techniques might. I don't know whether they do that. They're going to do it per model or different techniques and so on. I'm also interested to see their battle reports. There are apparently going to be 2 battle reports when it goes live. And I'm interested to see the style in which way they do them. They say they're going to be doing a mix of match play and narrative play. I am curious because of all the content creators on the YouTubes, there are lots and lots of different styles, and I tend to find it's not the production values as such, or the miniatures. I mean, it all does count, but it's whether or not you like the particular style of that channel. So I'm curious to see what the GW style is going to be, whether it's going to be sort of aimed at a younger audience, or whether it's going to be more akin to some of the stuff we watch on YouTube. So I'm interested to see that. It's going to be a free model, which I'm sure you've seen all about every year. You get access to the 40K app for free. Now, controversial opinion, I actually quite like the 40K app. The data is riddled with bugs, and there are a couple of small features they could put in to make it a great deal better, like being able to duplicate lists and so on. But the actual how you pick your army, because it's not got the the engine of Battlescribe behind it that has to be a sort of one-size-fits-all overlay of data. It means you can't just go this unit and then this model Flamer, this model Melter, Sergeant, Power Fist, done. I like that. It's very user-friendly from that point of view. So subscribing to Warhammer Plus gets you the app. So for me, that means Warhammer Plus is only a couple of quid more expensive because I already subscribed to the app. Apparently, they're going to do an Age of Sigmar app that's coming in, I think they said September, that's going to be included in it as well. So that's also a thing. What else are they doing? They're going to start to release many of the old books as viewables. I don't know whether they're going to be downloadable. I doubt they're going to be downloadable. But you can probably find them in the app and read them. I think that'll be good for a lot of there'll be a lot of lore, a lot of background, a lot of narrative, a lot of ideas fishing in there. I don't think they're going to release them all as a library. I think they're going to drip feed them to us like one a week for the next 3 years until they run out of books to do. What else was there? I think that was it. So yeah, I'm interested to see where they take it. One of the things I do find quite interesting is everything they're doing, with the exception of the miniatures, has competition. So the Warhammer app has competition from Battlescribe. The battle reports have competition from YouTube and people like yours truly. The lore. Oh, they said there were going to be lore videos. So like someone's going to talk about, like, I don't know, Abaddon the Despoiler for 20 minutes. Focused lore videos. There are lore people on YouTube who do that kind of thing. So there's competition for that. There's you got people like Duncan Rhodes with his painting academy. I think that's what it's called, to do all the paintings. So every bit of it has got competition. Now, what I imagine they're betting on is that an individual one will be enough to hook someone in, and the fact that you get everything else with them will be the extra. You know, sort of come for the fish, stay for the cheesecake. No, I don't know either. You know, I mean, it might be if the subscription, for example, is the here's an example, right? If the subscription cost to my channel is $5.99, which it is,
bargain,
and subscription cost to Warhammer TV is $4.99, which I think it is, then you might say, well, actually, I like both battle reports, but I get all this extra stuff for the $4.99, so that's what I'm going to do. So I imagine that's the angle they're sort of going, where each offering can compete, and the fact that you get everything else free with it is gravy. I don't know. Yeah, so it's interesting to see which way they go. It'll be interesting to see what they do with all their swathe of litigations around. Like, so for example, we know they've told people that they can't make independent fan fiction anymore, which is let's say it's not particularly ethical, not particularly popular, and to be honest, quite self-defeating. But are they going to do that in other areas too? Who knows? How long might it be before? Because I think years ago, independent stockists couldn't use pictures of their models in their cover art. So if you were selling a box of Tactical Space Marines, you couldn't put the picture of a box of Tactical Space Marines on your website. You just had to have a little sort of duff icon, and it just said Space Marines. They've made some unusual decisions, and I don't know if they're still in that kind of random headspace where they're going to sort of spew out a sort of vomiting litigations everywhere, saying thou shalt not make hobby content, thou shalt not feature our models in videos that you charge for. Maybe time will tell. Time will tell. I think Warhammer Plus is going to be one of those polarizing things. People either really love it and will want it for all the different things, or they will not be interested, or they'll just boycott it. I mean, I can see a lot of comments in the conversation about people boycotting it, and I have a lot of sympathy for that point of view. I'm going to see how things play out over time, because GW have got a history of making stupid decisions, but then backpedaling when they realize just how stupid they are. That's the Moog. You want to pay for your free mini? Yeah. So £5 a month for 12 months. You're £48. You're £50. You're £60. I can't count. Free mini. Yeah. I think it's interesting to see which way it's going to go, because, interesting decisions have been made, and it could go any direction. It's very much, if I were a gambling man, I wouldn't want to put money on which way the various bits of it are going to go. So it's. I wanted to mention it, but not dwell on it. So it's mentioned. How are we doing for questions? Whoa. Wodger questions. Okay.
No, there's only a couple.
Thin Wodger questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So from Chapter Master Lexicus, the GW style of bat rep will be tuned to suit what they are trying to sell. It totally will. It totally will. Oh, did you see the mess up on the Black Templar with the Flamer? It had 2 damage on it for about 20 minutes until someone noticed and changed it. So I don't know why they did 20 minutes. I mean, normally they'd wait till it had been out like 6 weeks and everyone had bought them before they changed that. Just joshing. But it has been known for very powerful units to sell well, then instantly be nerfed. I wonder what's going to get nerfed out of the Thousand Suns and Grey Knights in 6 weeks. Interesting. Oh, another one. Paul, you would have thought they would have done something like an animation of Gaunt's Ghosts or some other Black Library bestseller. Yeah, you totally would. You totally would. That'd be like printing money. Oh, Gaunt's Ghost series, yes. Or a Horus Heresy series. Serialize the Horus Heresy books from start to finish. That'll keep you going 10 years. Okay, Blackthorn. The fact they are still sending you and other BR channels merch is probably a good sign. Well, yes. I mean, it's free advertising, isn't it? It doesn't cost them a huge amount to send, a bunch of books and a couple of boxes to people when all we do is we post videos that we get 2,000, 3,000, for Winters 50,000 views. It's advertising, so it kind of makes sense. But it is a good sign, I think, they still do that. And I am very grateful to them for it. Even though it's free advertising, it's also it's stuff, it's content, and I can do stuff. And yeah, it's very exciting a lot of the time. Chapter Master, why do they not proofread before they post? Well, you'd be surprising how many things can get through proofreading. I mean, I was working on a project plan today, and I must have read it 3 or 4 times. My colleague read it a couple of times, and there was a date in there that was like 3 months in the past that no one spotted, so I was going through it with senior management. So it does happen. There seems to be quite a lot of it, though. Joe, isn't the tale of Mission being told in Hammer and Bolter? I'm ready for that. I honestly couldn't tell you. That wasn't in the blurb pack that we got. So I don't know, I'm afraid. I might get to hear more. If I do, I'll share it on the live streamings or possibly on individual videos. But it could be interesting to see which way GW go with a lot of things. Interesting and exciting to see where I go with Age of Sigmar. Whether I play a few games and go, no, it's not for me. They're on the wrong side of bases, the wrong shape. It's the wrong shape. Or whether I really get into it and the stories and narrative juices flow. Or whether I go, I want to do clones and droids. Roger. Which equally likely. Oh, there's another one being written. I think
Moog is fuming.
Moog's fuming. What's he fuming about? Moog, annoyed they still refuse to put an index in the rules. Oh, yeah. 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 Well, on that note, I think, do we have the end of stream stuffs? Okie dokie. Okay. So thank yous. We have thank yous to Chapter Master Lexicus ×2. Yes, you did twice. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And thank you very much to Eldar. Eldar Block? Blog. You've written Block? CK?
Oh, that must have just been a brain.
A brain trump.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Eldar Blog. Cheers, buddy. You guys are all awesome, as are everyone who comes on, watches the ads, and contributes, channel members, and everyone. Big thank you to Crimson, as ever. Expert support, especially for filling in for a few minutes when I had a bit of a medication issue. Side effects. Don't forget if you're in the UK and you shop at Element Games and you want extra crystals, which are extra store credits, check out the affiliate link in the description below and the code which gives you extra crystals, gives them to me as well, and gives them store credit. Yay. Check out channel memberships if you're not a channel member and you want to see more battle reports, my Necron hobby vlogs, which are going on at the moment, or if you want to join the Discord where all these reprobates who are talking hang out. And it is pretty much like this every night in there. But on that happy note, I will say, have I forgotten to thank anyone?
No, I'm not sure threatening is the way forward move, but I like your style, or else. I like your style.
Well, on that note, thanks for joining us, everyone, and we will see you in the next one. Bye for now.